welcome to the Femafricmaths channel. Today we are excited about our interview. It's the second interview of the Maths Queen for this year, and we are excited to have Oluwakemi with us. So, Oluwakemi, welcome to our channel. We'd like you to introduce yourself and tell us about your journey with mathematics, from where you started to where you are now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Angela. I'm glad to be here. Like she has said, my name is Oluwakemi, and looking back, if you would talk about my journey, I started off in a public secondary school in Nigeria, in Oyo State precisely, lived with my grandmom. I was just a normal student really in high school who actually on average or somehow above average just was doing her thing. I then went to the uni. I mean, going to the uni, basically, I did apply to do information technology, but fortunately, I was given a mathematics admission, and then I studied mathematics really. And it's been a very interesting journey for me. I mean, then I was not sure of what I would do in my maths degree, but growing on, I went to AIMS. I was exposed to a lot of things that maths could do, went on to do another thing, maths again, and then I've just finished my PhD in economics. Yes, maths has been fun so far. So yeah, that's about me in brief. Thank you.
Wow, interesting. So you mentioned that it was fortunate that you didn't get the IT that you applied for. Can you throw a bit of light on it?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's very fortunate for me because at the time I didn't apply for mathematics. Of course, it could have been because I didn't really know much about what I could do in math and all those things. But why I say it was fortunately for me is looking back at how things are turned out, and I'm really, really grateful that I was given that to study. Though at the time while I was in the university, I wasn't so clear about so many things. Like there were times doing abstract algebra, myself and my colleagues in school probably be asking our lecturer, "Sir, when are we going to apply this? What does this even mean? How do we use this?" So we weren't so clear about so many things. But if I look back now, as regarding what I've done with my mathematics degree, I think it's really been awesome. So yes, I'm grateful, and I was fortunate to have been given mathematics to study at the uni. Yes, so that's it.
Wow, interesting. So why economics? So for us as Femafricmaths, we like to highlight the diversity in career options when you study mathematics. You are our first economics that we are interviewing. So why economics? Why would someone at a university who studied mathematics end up with economics? What is the relationship between these?
Thank you so much. So to start with, before getting to the last bit of your question, I think I would build some foundation here. So while I was studying mathematics, my first year or my second year, I think, my mom was really concerned. I mean, she came to my uni, she wanted me to change my course to computer science or something. And this is a mother who cares about what her daughter was going to do in the future, like in terms of what opportunities are available for her. So she was concerned that it's beautiful. Being a teacher is beautiful. Lecturing is beautiful, is awesome. But our concern was at the time, even that is really, really tightly contested for in Nigeria. They're not so much. So if there are a lot of people doing math and you can only either be a teacher or a lecturer, I mean, that was what we think was just the only opportunities at the time. So she wanted to change my course, but yeah, again, that didn't happen because of some other things that came up, which I'm glad it did. And now she is actually glad. Now, the fact that I ended up doing economics is because when I went to AIMS, I got exposed to a lot of things about maths, like maths and biology, maths and finance, even climate change, a lot of things in physics, in quantum computing, it was diverse. So then I did pick up the finance, because one thing about Nigeria, one of the things about my country is sometimes we talk about how wealthy the nation is, but then how it's not evenly distributed, how poverty is still much in Nigeria, how economically things are still not going the way they should, though we have the resources and the like. So for me, it was like, okay, if I could do mathematics and understand finance and probably think about what could be done for the economy and all those things, what can I can do better, what my quota will be to the economy, to Nigeria particularly, really. So that's how I did finance. But then when I studied my finance, so I did a master's in quantitative finance and mathematics at Oluwakemi University. That was after I left home, South Africa. One of the things I did in my dissertation, I did something that talked about how people, like for example, how banks need to take care of what can happen, like how much money they have to keep with like central banks and all those things, so that, you know, they don't, maybe there's anything bad that wants to happen. For example, the financial crisis that happened in 2007 to 2009, you know. So talks about how much things need to be done from the bank perspective. But one thing, the main reason really why I ended up doing a PhD in economics is that the thing talked about the fact that, you know, whatever happens in the financial industry with banks, with people that deal with money and all that, it affects every other part of the economy. Like you can't separate it. So to me, it was like, okay, let me do something in economics. Let me see how everything works together. How you know, so that was it for me, really. And yeah, it's been interesting so far. Yeah, so that's how I ended up doing economics.
Oh, okay. So can you tell me a bit about what you do now? So you finished your PhD in economics. So what will a typical day in your life look like? What do you actually do, the technical bits?
Yeah.
So, not too much into technical details, just a bit into.
Yeah. I mean, right now, in the immediate time, I'm currently doing like a short-term consultation with the World Bank on a project that's been done. And very soon I will be starting a new role at the UK government, so the Department for Works and Pension. But yeah, so that's what I do for now. That's it.
Very interesting. So let me take you back a bit. You mentioned that you went to a public school when you were growing up.
Yeah.
So my question is, you went to a public school, and I am also African, and I know sometimes the conditions in public schools. What do you think made the difference? Were there some critical people who played a role in making maths fun for you, making you really keep up with your studies in order for you to move on to where you are now?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said, at the time I was with my grandmom. So I'm from a family of interesting background, really. So from the family front, there weren't so much motivation. But the only motivation mainly was my grandmom. She was the key motivation. But then in school, what I found out is that my teachers made it fun for me. Like in terms of not just my mathematics teacher, like I said, it wasn't like I was good across all subjects. Yeah. It wasn't the fact that, in fact, I was the assistant head girl in my school, in secondary school. I was good across all subjects, but I saw the enthusiasm in my teachers. Like they were just, you know, if they were good at what they do. And one of the teachers that I really can't forget actually didn't really teach me mathematics. It taught me physics, but he also did chemistry as well. So his name is Mr. Fagbero. So he does a whole lot of things. The man is so versatile. And there were other teachers as well, even my mathematics teacher for them. In fact, all my teachers played a role in it. So they made it fun for me. You know, they were doing their jobs and it was just easy, really. I would say, yeah, it was just, they were the motivation at that stage. As I grew up to university, I had other motivations and all those things. But yes, for high school, it was just my teachers, my grandmom mainly. And yes, my mom, maybe I would say as well, yeah.
Thanks so much. We want our math students who are watching us to learn from your journey. So my next question is this. You went from a degree in mathematics to a master's in mathematical sciences, to another master's in financial mathematics, and now economics, a PhD in economics. So let's say there's a math student watching us who is an undergraduate student studying mathematics. What skills do you think they need to acquire in order for them to have their PhD journey in economics to be a strong one, so that they wouldn't, of course, you have to learn a lot of new things during a PhD, but if there's some skill that they can acquire before then, what skills do you think they should?
Okay, thank you for the question. So I think the one thing, the maths need to be there first, because the type of economics that is being done now in terms of the development in economics itself, you can't do away with your mathematics. Now, yes, the math would be there, but again, they must have the interest at heart. They must have something that drives them. Is it that they're looking at the economy, or they're looking at the gap or some sort that they think, okay, this can be done better. So the motivation must be there. They should also try to ask questions, maybe watch news. This is one thing that I did. I read the newspaper a lot sometimes. I try to watch the news. There are so many things that I still really want to know that I don't know yet, but so far something is being mentioned in passing to me, I ask certain questions. And what really helped me, to be fair, actually was while I was at Hames, there were some PhD student at the time I was doing my master's. I think for me, I always relate with people higher than I am, like most times. So I was with them. I was relating with them more than my cohorts. Yes, I had a very good relationship with my cohort. Yes, that's fine. But then it seems I was closer to the PhD guys than I was to. So it was almost like I was aiming high, looking at them at the top, and I was just, pushing hard and aiming high. So I don't just, I think that's one thing really. The motivation should be there, just wanting to know and wanting to do something. That's it.
Okay, so last but one question is this: are you involved in any projects? You mentioned that you looked out to PhD students who you were learning a lot from. Are there any projects you are doing to help the young ones coming up? We'd like you to share a bit about it if you want.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. So, prior to last year, so I've been doing bits and pieces together, myself, my friends, and here and there. So what we've done so far is that I have put up a foundation together. It's called Crystad Foundation. So basically what we do really is that we want to change the narratives of mathematics. Now, for example, in my own case, growing up in Nigeria, studying mathematics in the university, having asked a lot of questions to my lecturer because I wasn't clear as regards to what I'll do with my maths degree, I realized that, we need to kind of change the perspective. Now, besides those that study mathematics in university, there is the fear of mathematics, even naturally, be it in high school, be in primary school students. So it's kind of questionable or funny. I don't want to say funny, but I don't want to use the ad word, but then it's a bit concerning. I think that's the right word. It's a bit concerning that people would presume or would just believe that math is hard, or I can't do well with math. People think that way. People say that thing, and not because they have tried it and found out that it's actually hard, but because some of it is because someone had told them that maths is hard, and they just believed it. They just believed it's hard. But the truth is it's not hard. And the other question that people tend to ask is, how do I say math in reality? But it's there actually. There is mathematics in virtually what we do. Even the theoretical things that we do in probabilities, as simple as tedious as some people find it. It's in everything we do, in the games that we play, probability, in even decisions that people make day to day. Investment decisions is solely on probability, chances, and even forecasts, climate change, a lot of things come together. So what we're trying to do as a foundation basically is we are trying to reach out to. Now, we have a chain of people that we're working. We work with high school students, mainly undergraduate students and also graduate students. Now, for high school students, we figured that, it's better to catch them young in terms of letting them know the various opportunities that maths could do for them. Some think you can just be a teacher with maths. Yes, some know that you can also be a data scientist and not, but there are other things actually that are not so obvious that you can do with your math degree. So we want to create that awareness with them by making the the things they learn in classroom. We want them to be able to relate it with the day-to-day activities that they do in terms of games, activities, and all those things. So we're doing that with them. And also we're working with university students as well. There are a lot of things that we're doing really, but so that's it about Crystad Foundation. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And if there's any way you'd like us to collaborate on things, we are definitely open to supporting you with that. Okay, so in a minute we'll be gone, and we'd like you to give us a message. There's a young girl in Ekiti watching you. What will be your inspiring message to that girl?
So a girl in Ekiti really is that don't be limited by what happens around you. Like I said, my own family dynamics was very, it's just, I don't want to go into the depth of it, but yes, don't be limited by what happens around you. Even if things are not going right, or you think things are not right, or you think you're, just aim high, do your best. That's one thing that's really can liberate you, putting your best into your academics, because I tell you, once you put your best into it, the doors will open, the opportunities will come. You will be independent one day. You would know, you will be able to give back, you will be able to do things, and you would also be able to liberate others. So yes, just put in your best, study hard, ask questions. Even when people say you ask too much, please ask. If you're not clear about certain things, ask, but do it politely as well. And just be teachable as well. It's good to have a teachable heart. Be willing to learn, because there are a lot of things to learn really in this journey. And you'll be fine. And trust God, really, because that's the thing for me, really. It's been my source of everything. So yeah, that would be my advice to a young girl in Ekiti and even all over the world.
Thanks so much, Kemi, for honoring our invitation. We look forward to sharing your story with the rest of the world. Bye.
Thank you so much.